Hey guys, Beth Investigates, and welcome to my channel. Um, so I am doing this for the second time now. I've done this a couple of times and not managed to get it right, so I'm hoping this time that we can. So let's just get straight into it. So basically, this video is going to be about Lucian Munguia, a 5-year-old little boy who went missing from Sarg Hubbard Park in Yakima, Washington on the 10th of September 2022 at around 7:15 p.m. He 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 is autistic, and there has been some confusion from day one about him being non-verbal. I have spoken with with Lucian's mum, and it's not that he isn't verbal. He is verbal. He can speak, and he will speak, but he will probably not speak to you if he doesn't know you already and he isn't comfortable with you. So they put down non-verbal because, as a stranger searching for him, he probably wouldn't speak to you. He goes by the nicknames Shushin or is it Shushi? I think. And he is around 4 foot tall. He is just less than 50 pounds. He's got long, beautiful, dark hair. He's got dark eyes. And basically, there is a 10,000 US dollar reward for the safe return of Lucian to his family. So, if you've got any information regarding where he is, or where he has been, or anything like that, please contact 911 or your local FBI office, or you can go on Facebook and contact the family direct through the Finding Lucian Facebook page. Okay, so before we start, I just want to I've given Lucian an introduction, but I want to just clarify these photos that you can see on the screen. There is the missing persons poster, which is the new updated one. Then the top one, this is the playground. You can see the gazebo in the background. You can also see the car park there too. This this location, which I'm just going to start. I'm going to start sliding into the timeline, and I will load my screen in a moment. But basically, what I can do is, so if I just do this, so on the 10th of September 2022, Lucian went to Sarg Hubbard Park at around 7:05 p.m. with his dad and his two siblings. I believe his dad parked in this, as you can see on the screen, this car park behind the play area. I believe his dad parked around there. That gazebo there in the background, the other side of the photo, that is going to be significant too. But for now, we're just sticking to this. So this is the play area where Lucian was going with his dad and his siblings. And you know, they were going just to burn some energy off. It was evening time. I presume they were probably burning some energy before going home to bed. So, you know, it was just a little trip out. And they arrived around 7:05 p.m. So anyway, the dad, Juan, gets the kids out the car, tells Lucian and his brother to go play on the play area, which they did. He then got his daughter out the car and he took her over to the play area. And just as he was about to let her go down the slide, he noticed that her diaper or nappy had potentially leaked through. They weren't sure if she'd spilt some milk or juice, or if you know it was a diaper that had leaked. So he puts the daughter on the slide, decides he's going to have to go change a diaper. So he asks the boys just to continue to play and look after each other, and he goes back to the car to change her diaper. This didn't take him long, maybe a minute or two. When he returns, I believe the oldest son, who is called Adonis, was running back up the hill. Now I believe the hill is behind the gazebo. Okay? And so Juan says, where's Lucian? Adonis, which I think is his name, says he doesn't know, that he ran down the hill to the pond, and then apparently there was a party in the gazebo and they were setting up and there were some balloons. And so, that's where he's been. So obviously, Juan's looking around, can't see him. So then he starts, frantically looking for him, speed walking, because obviously he had 2 children in tow, he couldn't run. So he's looking around, frantic, for Lucian. And he, I'll just make this bigger. He can't see him anywhere. This is the hill down to the pond. It's not steep. You can see, there's children and whatnot on that hill. Absolutely fine. But yeah, so this is the hill. He searched all around this area, couldn't see him anywhere, so he rung the police. Now, he rung the police, I believe it was around 7:15. So from arriving to ringing the police, it was around 10 minutes, in total. And I can imagine the majority of that 10 minutes probably would have been searching for Lucian, as it seemed to have happened really fast. Before I move on to, Google Maps and whatnot, this pond, I can clarify, has been cleared by FBI. It's also been cleared by divers too. Okay? So that is that. So what we'll do now is we'll move on to this. So this is a map of oh sorry, 1 minute. Let me just make that big. Right, there we go. Sorry guys, this laptop. Right. So this here is a map of Yakima, as you can see. Before I get started, because every time I've tried to go live and I've tried to do this, it's taken forever. So I just want to clarify something before I get into it. If you can see, I've put little markers down for places that I need to remember or places I need to address. This place here, a few places down, you'll understand why I mention it in a minute. Parker. And then we go across, and you've got the Sunnyside Diversion Dam. Now, this dam is quite a way down from Sarg Hubbard Park, but it's still important, and you will see. So if you can see, it is really quite a way. If you follow all the river and everything past Union Gap, you will eventually end up here where we need to be. So The day before, they had been at Kiwanis Park here. But the day in question is this park. You can see they're quite close together. So they'd arrived at the park. And if we just have a little look this way, I presume they'd arrived in on this road here. They'd come in, they'd parked up. So this is when everything's taken place, wanted to come back to the car. I believe these are some toilets or something here. So basically, sounds to me from the older brothers' events is that they've run down here towards the pond and then they've run back up because Lucian's seen some balloons here at this gazebo. Now, there was initially, the chief of police did say initially that there had been some CCTV footage which was taken from this building here. It's not really a building, it's like a train thing. And apparently this footage showed Lucian leaving in a southeast direction, so in this direction. I presume down this path or down the greenway. However, that does not exist. It doesn't exist, it's not true. That is a complete mistake. Doesn't exist, never has done. Sorry guys. So because it doesn't exist, we have to look at other options. So we know that there is no proof that he left in a southeast direction. However, now again, this is each to their own. This is down to personal preference. But someone did come forward saying they are convinced they saw Lucian. Now they're saying they saw Lucian on the pathway down towards Buchanan Lake. Now, Buchanan Lake is this large body of water. I'd also like to point out, along with the pond in the park, this Buchanan Lake has also been cleared by FBI. So he's also not in there either. But this person comes forward and says they saw Lucian running down towards Buchanan Lake, and he saw him. He's convinced it was Lucian, 100%. But he says he didn't bat an eyelid because there was a couple of people up ahead, and he just assumed they were like parents or grandparents or something. Now, this man was so convinced it was Lucian, he went to police too. He spoke to the police, and he has told the police. But the problem we've got is the fact that he was a few minutes out when he did tell the police. His timings were a few minutes off, so police discredited him. And that was the end of that. Completely shut him down. Now, I wouldn't be so quick to discredit him. But we have to trust that the police know what they're doing and are checking everything. So for now, that man has been discredited, and who knows? We can't really say. Now, what I will say is these bodies of water have been cleared by FBI and divers. Okay. Now, this Yakima River here is an extremely fast-flowing river. It is, I can't remember the exact time, like how many miles per hour or kilometres per hour it travels, but it is a fast-flowing river, all the same. And, there is a part, and I believe it's here, where there is no shelter like with trees or bushes. You can just get down the rocks and get in the water. Now, his parents do not believe he would do that. They can't be certain. They can't say for certain, but they don't believe he would. Now, my point about the river, and this is why I showed you the dam earlier on, is because there is a dam a couple of towns or cities down. And my take on this is that, he would have resurfaced had he have gone in the river somewhere. He's been missing over a month now. He would have shown up somewhere, whether it be at the dam or before that. He would have shown up. There is no way, that after 6 weeks he would still be in the river. They would have found him. I did notice, and I was curious about this. Now these look like swampland or marshland to me. I don't know if they've been searched. But I can imagine, these places would have been searched. So, all in all, we've got this area. Now, we don't know what direction, because that video never exists of him leaving. We don't know what direction he left in. If you believe the man who came forward and said, "I'm sure I saw Lucian on the pathway down towards Buchanan Lake," then we know he did leave in a southeast direction. But there is other ways out the park. Now, I'm going to clear up a few theories that I have, or that I had and now don't have, very soon. But for now, I just want to move on and clear. This is kind of the main thing for me. Okay, so this one, oh my god, it's done it again. Sorry. I don't know why it's done it like that. But so I came across, when I was doing my research, this page. Okay, now this page, when I was doing my own research, it did strike an interest. I thought, we could be on something here. This could be what I needed to read. However, we know that the waterways have been cleared, so maybe not necessary. But I just want to touch on this anyway, because you can, it blatantly specifies that children with autism are, attracted to water. They, it's sensory for them. It's the touch and the sound and all that is attractive to someone with autism. Now, you've got the flip side where they're not interested in water at all. But we know Lucian likes sea life and fish, which is why a lot of people did straight run to the idea that it was in the water to start with. However, if you are on the same page that the waterways have been cleared, then we can write this theory off. But I just thought, with him liking sea life and fish, that it was okay for me to just explain that. I mean, Angel, since I've read this page, it was really interesting for me to read, just to learn about it anyway. Water increasing the wandering risk and things, because his parents did say that he doesn't wander off. Now, the reason that this doesn't apply to Lucian and the day that he went missing is because they'd been to that park before, and he'd never wandered off in the past, so I don't think that he would have wandered off because of the water on this day either. But if anyone is interested, whether it be for your own research or anything like that, please go ahead and look that up, because that was really interesting for me to look at. So, and I'm really sorry if you can hear the noise in the background. It is not in my house. So, now I just want to mention, I just want to bring this up, okay? Now, I just want to clarify this, because I feel like this is important. Now, I personally believe that he could have been abducted. That is my personal belief. Now, the ways that I have looked into this is when we're looking at this map of Sarg Hubbard Park. Okay. Now, can I first point out as well, before I even get into this, I am not accusing the homeless. I do not think the homeless have anything to do with him going missing. I do not think that for a second. In fact, the family have said that, the homeless people have been really helpful, more than helpful. So, we can write them off completely. However, some things I want to clear up. Now, we know that the dad was parked in this area here, and the boys were playing here while he nipped back to the car. Now, my thought process when I was looking into all this was, could someone have been maybe in this area? Now, someone did clarify to me that these are actually toilets in this area. Now, if they're toilets, I don't know if they're in working order. If we're going on British parks, most toilets will be locked out of order. But, I don't know whether it's the same, so we'll just go on the fact that they're open and they're active and working. Okay, so say these toilets are in full working order and you can, go in and use the toilet as you need. What if when one announced to the children that he was, nipping back to the car to change their daughter's nappy or diaper, that someone was leaving this area or was stood in this area, I mean, there's trees as well. What if someone had heard one say that and took an opportunity? We know there was people setting up a party here. We also know that the eldest child ran up the hill or ran down the hill or something in this area. So what if they've gone to run down here and then they've come running back up? There's people setting up at gazebo now. His family said they love balloons, and we know there was balloons there. So maybe they both ran back up. The older brother saw him there. The older brother's come running back. What if someone has abducted him from in between here to here? What if there's someone in this area that has gone in that when Lucian's gone running back to his brother and his dad, that someone has been in this area and taken him? Now, my immediate thought would be that, he can't leave this way because someone would have seen, whether it be someone at this party or someone at the park, because there were other people at the park too. On top of the fact that when you're leaving from this direction, you have all these businesses over here. I mean, there's Walmart, you can't leave in this direction because there's other businesses. These businesses will have CCTV, so he will not have been taken in that direction. I'm confident of that. But what if someone has taken Lucian in this area? We've got this way that they could have gone, although we know there was a man walking in that general vicinity that claims he saw Lucian. So maybe he would have seen him with someone. What if they've left in this direction? And maybe, when police have turned up, they've made off in another direction. Who knows? Now, at this point, I would like to point out this is purely theory based. I'm trying to think logical. I'm trying to think of how this could have happened. If it is an abduction, I'm trying to think of how someone has got him out of that park. We know that Juan was, frantic, speed walking around the park trying to see Lucian and didn't. Now, were these checked straight away, or could someone have got him in there just until Juan has gone off in, this direction and then they've managed to get down the greenway here? I don't know. I'm trying to think logically. But you're not going to run off into this direction where there is CCTV or this direction where there's CCTV. That is purely my thought. I'm not putting, false truths out there because this isn't confirmed. It hasn't been confirmed that he was abducted. This is just a theory I've got. We know he's not in the water. We know the parents are innocent, which is my next point. I'm going to get onto that in a minute. We know these things. So I'm trying to think of what else logically could have happened, and abduction is the next thing. We know that 4% of abductions are stranger abductions. Just because it is extremely rare doesn't mean it doesn't happen. This could be just some sicko that has took a chance when they have seen Lucian running back up the hill. Maybe he was trailing behind his big brother and he stopped to have some balloons, and then he's continued running that way after his big brother, and someone in this area has taken some sick opportunity. Now, I have done research on sex offenders in the area. I have heard about this. I've seen it on Facebook about some guy who was selling cupcakes or something. We need to consider all bases. So this is just my theory, my thoughts. So now I just want to move on to my next point. And in this next point is this, that the parents are innocent, okay? These parents, they're living their worst nightmare right now. I'm a parent. I have 2 children. This is beyond anything I can even comprehend. I can't imagine how they are feeling. I can't even begin. And I don't want to imagine because that it breaks my heart as a parent to even put myself in their shoes. But, they're living their worst fear. The mum was working, we know that. She was at work. One called her workplace. And, the police were already there when Sandra turned up to help search. She left work, she just went straight to the park and started looking for her son. We know these things. We know that, Juan was just taking his children to the park to play, burn off some energy, probably before going home to bed, and something has gone terribly wrong. As parents, we all have to turn our backs for a split second sometimes. Whether it be to, one child falls over and grazes the knee and you're looking after them while your other child is still playing happily. We all have to do things at times where we have to turn our back for that split second. And we should be okay to do so. But these parents are living their worst nightmare. They do not deserve an ounce of the hate that they are getting. The waterways are clear. The parents are innocent. They have, the police have said they don't suspect a single ounce of foul play. So we can't be, I haven't doubted for a second, and I don't think anyone else should. There's other cases currently in the US that I am looking into where the parents of their missing child won't even speak to news. Most of you will probably know who I'm referring to, but when parents do speak to the news, there's not a tear in sight, there's no real emotion, and it's evident they're on drugs. These parents are not that. These parents, they have been willing to speak to news, they've been willing to speak to police, they are willing to speak to anybody who will go and help search. They are handing out flyers, they are literally doing everything they possibly can with what resources they do have. So, before I just get into, I believe it's my final point, yeah, it is, I just wanted to clear that up. These parents are suffering right now, and there is no place for public, making their suffering worse. Which then takes me on to my final point. This. Okay? Now, this group right here is disgraceful. I have tried, multiple times to report it, but Facebook groups are really hard to get shut down. Now, I'm making it my personal mission to have this shut down. This group is not okay. Okay? Now, to start with, I want to say that I had someone, I'm not going to say who they are, they have got a relationship with me, which I'm not going to clarify because I don't want anyone going snooping. But someone that I know very well joined that group for me because I refuse. Just so I could get some information from the group without having to join such negativity. Because I want no part to play. Now, as you can see, it's called Lucian. What happened? It's got a picture of his face. It has got 3,500 members. Now, I don't think every single person in that group is in there for negativity. But what I will say is that the majority of them are. Okay, it clearly states here in the description, Lucian, missing from Yakima, Washington, theories, discussion, speculation, and crime. Now, in this group, they are committing slander. They are slandering the parents, the family members, all over this group. The family have a GoFundMe. These people in this group were bragging about reporting the GoFundMe because they believe the family did it. Okay? Now, my personal take on this is they are unable to work currently because their son is missing. They have bills to pay, they have mouths to feed. Therefore, who cares what they're using that money for? I am not in a financial position to donate, but if I was, I would not give a monkey's what they spent that money on. If I could donate $20 or £20, I don't care if they order themselves a pizza for tea. I don't care, if they go and buy the kids some sweets. I don't care if they use that money to pay a bill or pay some of a bill. And I don't care if they pay for flyers print now. At the end of the day, they need aid, they need help, looking for their son. Now that GoFundMe, it could have been used for a reward fund, as obviously now reward money has been put up now. But even if it hasn't, even if that family are using that money for other things, even a night in a hotel so that they can be next to the park where their son went missing, that is fine. They can spend that money on what the hell they want. They're well in their rights. If it makes their life a little easier whilst they're going through hell, let them. It is of no concern to anyone else. And we should all have the same compassion and understand that. I am aware that they are, lying on this group, saying that a month before the dog went missing and 2 days before Lucian went missing from Walmart. These are lies. They are not true. What is said in that group, the majority of it is lies and has no place on the internet for that. These are people sat behind computers and sat behind screens and typing away and making someone else's life difficult just because. Now, if it is a personal vendetta, because I know someone in that group claims to know them, if it is a personal vendetta, then this person is making lies up just to hurt someone else who's hurting enough and doesn't need it. The majority, I don't know what your purpose is for lying about this family, but this family don't need it. And you have to stop. It's not fair. If you put the same amount of energy into finding Lucian as you are doing slandering the family all over Facebook, then, you know, the world would be so much better, because the family would have an extra 3,500 people on side than they do right now. That is an extra 3,500 people that could share flyers. You know, if every single one of those 3,500 people in that group printed a flyer and left it at a shop, that is 3,500 businesses that have got Lucian's face up. That is 3,500 people who, you know, are out there trying to find Lucian. There is no place on the internet for this. And I will make it my personal mission to have that group taken down, because you're using that little boy's face and that little boy's story and this family's hurt for your own gain. That's not okay. And if anyone watching my live, or anyone watching this video when it goes up on my YouTube, is, you know, seeing this, and you are in that group, or you have contributed to that group, please unfollow me on all social media. I want no part. I want no association. Okay? Now, I will just mention, there is a group, before I end the live, there is a group that you can go on, and it is this, okay? Didn't realise you could see my face there, but anyway. So, there is this group here. It is called Finding Lucian. It's got 10,000 members. It was created by the family, okay? You know, this is your best way to contact Family Direct. You know, it gives out updates as and when there is updates to give. There is regular updates as to what's going on in the area, you know, what the family are doing to try and help find Lucian. This is the group to be in. If you want a positive group where there is no negativity, where people genuinely want to help find this little boy, then join this one. This is the one that you need to be in. This is the one where people are actually getting behind Lucian and trying to find him. Okay? Not some ridiculous group that someone has made just because it's just not necessary. Okay? That little boy matters, and that little boy is the focus. It is not about, you know, dragging the family's name through the mud. They are good people. They are good parents. You know, there is families that, you know, there is families out there that beat their kids, that are awful to their kids. This isn't one of them. This is a family who love their kids, as the majority of us do, and haven't done anything wrong, especially nothing to deserve what they're getting on that Facebook group. So, what I will say before I end the live is, you know, this missing persons poster there, for Lucian, this is the new one. Now, I'm going to be going and sharing this on my Twitter and on my Instagram. This is the one that the family want to be shared around. It's got, you know, better photos or more updated photos, newer photos. So, this is the one that we need to be sharing around. And I know that it would be extremely appreciated if everyone could go on my social media or the Finding Lucian page, you'll find it on there too, and get that shared around. Okay? Thank you very much for watching this, and I will be, you know, I will be coming back on live soon to be covering more missing people's cases and doing more videos. And if you like this, please like, subscribe, follow me on my other social media platforms. I really appreciate it. Thank you.